Hello, everybody. Once again, I'm Lee McCrafton Jr., aka Zorbalchan Less Than Guru, and today I want to talk about per day, or spells per day, or casting per day, all of the types of per day that you, as game master or your table, will need to decide how you are getting those things recharged. So, if you use my magic point system or if you use the other Palladium systems that have PPE, it's easy. They regenerate just like ISP regenerates. But if you want to use either the spell casting, and here we can see as a wizard, spell casting indicates the maximum number of spells that can be cast per day per 24-hour period. That's all it states. There's nothing else. So if I have these two spells at level 1 and I cast one spell and I don't cast the other one, is that 24 hours from the time that I cast it? Or is it something else? If I cast one spell and then 4 hours later I cast the other spell, does the first one come back before the second one? It wouldn't be too much bookkeeping at level 1, but at level 15, when you have 23 spells and you cast it 23 different times, keeping track of that can be a pain in your rear end. So you might do something like D&D and have it after a long rest or after some type of resting. Then you'll have to determine how much time is required, and will you allow a spellcaster or magical item to just sit around for a few times? Will you only allow one rest, like a long rest, within a 24-hour period? You'll have to come up with things like that. So you could use a system like what I decided to implement, because even though I have magic points, my first thing for magic items, because we can go here and look at the magic weapon properties, there is a lot like this one here, turn holder invisible 3 times a day, or spits fireballs 3 times per day, things like that. How often are you going to allow those to be used? And my first thought was to give each item a magic point or PPE point, and then it regenerates. But again, that's when bookkeeping starts becoming bigger and a bigger involvement. So what I decided to do for a lot of these is determine that it gets refreshed or reset at either sunset or sunrise. And how I do it is, if it is an item, I kind of determine, is it a dark or light item, or is it an evil or good item? If I'm talking about alignments, say with an intelligent sword, a rune sword, or something like that, then I would take the alignment of the sword. Or if it is holy, I'll take the alignment or how the deity is perceived, if it is a light or dark deity. And when you have priests of light and priests of dark, that kind of gives you a nice clear cut. If my priest is a priest of light and that's the deity, then his items would also be considered holy items of light, or vice versa, holy items of dark. And if it is a light or good item, then it will recharge or refresh at sunrise. And if it is an evil or dark, then I have it reset at sunset. So even if the thing has these 3, we'll talk about this, the spits fireballs 3 times per day. If you've used 2 and it is a magic weapon that is associated with light, and you shot out 2 and there's still 1 left, sunrise hit, it refreshes to 3. So you're not gaining an additional 3, but it's not having a 24-hour period after each casting of that fireball. You just know, I reset at sunrise, I reset at sunset. If I figured that was a little bit better than midnight, because midnight is a human or a time reference that could be different. And there's not really watches or accurate clocks in my world. So I like the idea of the mystic being attuned to day, the sun rising and setting. To me, sounds a little bit better. And yes, in your summer months, you're going to have more daylight. So your sun rises are going to happen earlier. But in the winter, your sunsets are also going to happen earlier if you want to do that. And what I have, I've talked about this before, is I have a little planner that I use. You can buy these every year, and mine are by month, and some of them will tell you when the sunrises are or sunsets, or you can do a quick Google, or you can just hand wave it and say, okay, it's sunset, because you don't have to be very specific in a game. So that's what I would suggest: sunrise, sunset, and do it like that. And then it brings some flavor of the magic item, of the various deities for divine holy items and things like that to your game. Having said that, once again, I am William Crafton Jr., aka Zorwell John Less Than Goober, and until next time, I will catch you later.